are officially live for episode 10. I think this is probably not the first time we've launched an episode with Kurt Angle's theme being the active theme in 2K. Just drop the link, give everybody a second. I'll fire it up and we'll be underway. 10th episode. I guess that's somewhat of a milestone. Our first double-digit weekly episode of SWA. Is that officially longer lived than NEW?
I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but it feels like it might.
Could be, yeah. But we're live in Dallas, Texas. Once again, episode 10, 7 matches on the card as per usual in what is officially our last regular weekly show before our next pay-per-view, which is still not announced and won't be until soon. Next week, maybe.
That
should be coming through now, whenever the stream catches up to.
Okay. Well, then we'll
live.
check just to make sure. But yeah, I'm excited about the pay-per-view. It's gonna be fun times and be interesting. See what we got coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna have almost everybody on the roster probably involved in some way, shape, or form of the pay-per-view. If that gives any clues about what might be featured. But tonight we're focused on the last set of matches leading up to it, including this first one between Gonzo McLovin and The Machine.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. You know, both these guys got a little upside down in their own records. I think Machine has had a good bit of hype and not really been able to live up to it. Meanwhile, McLovin kind of trying to make a name for himself. Got his first win against Sparkles recently. Maybe looking to build off of that here. And, you know, carve out a little space for himself here in the SWA.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities thus far in the SWA. Sitting at 1-2. It's one of the, lesser match totals on the power rankings, but he's on as much momentum as he can possibly have, riding his first victory against Sparkles. Not the strongest win, but Sparkles did pick up a win last week against Aloysius S. So at least got a win against someone who has a win now. For the Machine, at 2-4, ups and downs. You mentioned the hype. That we always sort of talk up the fact that he has put some people away with his Machine takedown, that strong right hand, but it just hasn't always been there for him, and he's accumulated 4 losses. Last one being to Savea a couple weeks back, and I don't know. He's never been able to get the momentum going and sort of turn anything into a bit of a streak. It's been a lot of 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Machine.
Yeah, and I think we talked about the hype. I almost wonder if there was a lot of hype around that Machine takedown as just a devastating punch. We've seen it get reversed a few times, and that has really kind of spelled doom for him. If he can't land that punch, then there's not really much else he can sort of do up to that level, and it kind of feels like his matches turn on that moment. So I wonder if the hype has led people to sort of scout him and study him. That could be the problem here. I don't know.
He's certainly one of the more one-dimensional, wrestlers that we have in SWA. But if you're really good at something, like we've seen, say DDT, you can get away with that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't mean that only being like an insane striker is his downfall. I just mean that, when it comes to that Machine takedown, he doesn't for finishers or anything really.
Well, he's got McLovin down now, and he's going for a quick cover, and he's He's finished him off.
Commentator's curse. Wow. Oh my gosh.
He's put him away. We might have, and there it was. We see on the replay the machine takedown, locked and loaded. He came with it prepared, and that may be a new SWA record.
I think he may have just knocked out McLovin cold there. That if you saw, he just dropped to one knee and just kind of fell over.
We're gonna have to go to the tape after the show, get the statisticians on this, but the machine might have taken down DDT's 54-second match.
Wow.
In that affair. What a way to start off the show. We're gonna save some airtime tonight. A quick win for the machine.
Makes you wonder if he could hear us talking at the commentary table about how disappointing he's been.
And now that I think about it, back at the inaugural tournament when that record was set, DDT got a win in 54 seconds. That win was against Gonzo McLovin. So
he's now the victim of likely the 2 fastest defeats in SWA history. Wow.
Not the line on your resume you want to have if you're Gonzo McLovin, but what a turnaround for the machine. Kicking us off with perhaps the quickest match in SWA history.
Yeah, incredible. So up next we got which Quinn is this? This is Matthew Quinn?
It's Matthew Quinn, yeah.
Get them all mixed up. But Matthew Quinn, 1T Matthew Quinn, who's been, I think, maybe the Quinn that we've seen the least of. He's maybe the enigma of the group a little bit.
Yeah, just one singles match, and a member of the sort of pairing with Corey Quinn that has resulted in, unfortunately, the only loss for the Quinns in tag team action. But technically undefeated on the singles side in his one match. Got a win against Sparkles back in episode 6.
All right, yeah, I mean that's not too bad. I think he's just sort of the one that we don't know what to think of it yet. I think with Corey Quinn, he obviously had the big run in the tournament in singles, and then the other two, Noah and Jamie, we saw they faced each other in the tournament, but they've shown some real success in tag matches. I think Matthew maybe something to prove here, not in the sense that he hasn't he's not undefeated as of yet. I want to see more from him. I'm curious.
Yeah, he's got the shallowest resume of the 4 for sure, and there's talk that he's the weakest link that perhaps needs to be removed if the chain is going to stay as strong as it could be. Who knows if that comes into play? But I've heard some rumblings from some of the other Quinn brothers, in fact, that maybe Matthew isn't long for that total pairing.
Well, if he doesn't watch himself, he might get incinerated here tonight.
Yeah, facing off with the Phoenix. We haven't seen him in singles action since all the way back on episode 2 when he lost to El Sangres.
Which was the founding of Deadfire, was it not?
Yeah, that's the last we've seen him in singles action because of that pairing. Now, he's been pretty effective in Deadfire, although they lost to a different pair of Quinns, Jamie and Noah, back on episode 8. But Mercer was part of the tandem that took down Corey and Matthew at Countdown. So a little bit of history between these two, and now they get to go one-on-one and see if they can settle a little bit more of the Deadfire versus the Quinns kind of early rivalry we've got in the tag division.
Yeah, a little grudge match, a little rubber match here. And yeah, a great chance to shout out our tag division, which has really grown and blossomed in the last few weeks. I think we've seen some great teams really make their mark, including teams both these guys are on.
Yeah, the Quinns have kind of run away with that division, as it were, as a team. Only one loss between them, and easily the most wins in that division. But Deadfire has been a little bit up and down. They sit at 2 and 3 in the tag division. We'll see a couple of tag teams in our main event tonight between Fuerza Mayor and Unhinged, and we'll sort out the tag division a little bit further.
Yeah, but one other thing I wanted to mention, we talked about Mercer in singles. We obviously haven't seen him in a bit, but early on, we saw some great performances from him in that inaugural tournament. A couple of great comeback victories, including a surprise win over El Puma. Really looked sort of down and out, but managed to keep that fighting spirit and pulled out a win. I think he's a tough one to beat in singles competition, so I'll be curious to see what exactly it might take from Matthew Quinn here if he wants to come out on top.
Yeah, he's run into some folks that had a little bit more resiliency even, perhaps, but he certainly knows how to stay in there and hang in a match, and he'll be a tough one for Matthew to put away here.
And early on, it's been, a bit of a back and forth affair. Both these guys kind of getting their licks in and able to assert control again. But no one really stands out as the one on top at the moment.
Mercer going over the top rope there to drop the leg on the neck of Quinn on the apron, looking for another quick cover. Just a 1 count. Not gonna take down the Machine's record from that first match just yet. I'm not sure if we're gonna see that for a while. And there's that
pop-up drop kick there.
Yeah, that high elevation drop kick. We've seen that do some serious damage to people in matches.
He's busted a few people open with that. It's dangerous. And now he's going up top, it looks like. Looking to put this thing away quick.
Like you'd expect from someone dubbed the Phoenix, he flies across the ring, slamming down onto the nearly lifeless Quinn. But he drags him back to his feet, lending a helping hand here. Oh! Got that handspring cutter. Quinn looked like he had turned that one around, and now Mercer looking for the cover, and he's got it. Diego Mercer with an incredible handspring cutter to put away Matthew Quinn.
Yeah, wow. Somebody needs to tell the guys in the main event that they've got more time to work with, because these matches are going by quick.
Certainly just running through it. 2 matches up, 2 matches down. Just a few minutes into this card, and damn, what a nice victory for Mercer, who comes out, a little bit of back and forth early on, but then kind of just controls it wire to wire. He hits that high elevation drop kick, and then it looked like Quinn reversed that, and then Mercer just kind of countered right back with that handspring cutter. A nice finish there for Diego Mercer.
Yeah, I mean, that handspring cutter can really come out of nowhere. Obviously it takes a little bit of setup, but he can hit it pretty quickly, so it's always a bit of a surprise, I think. And we saw the kind of damage it can do right there.
We move right along into our third match already. A quick card so far, as we've got Merciless Mason Jones taking on the Island God SWA. Jones has been a little bit, up and down as well. A deceptive 1-2 record. I'd say he's been in some really nice matches and put up quite a nice effort a lot of time, including his last match, which was a loss against Painwrecker a few weeks ago. Only the 1 win in singles, but he's been pretty good and competitive in every match, and he won that 4-way elimination match at Countdown, so a big multi-man win there for him on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was a particularly strong performance. That was a match, among a bunch of guys who were kind of looking to stake their claim to be, a little bit closer to competing for something like the Path to Glory briefcase. And, it was a strong match, but I think Jones really looked in control for a good bit of it. And yeah, I mean, even like you said, even in his losses, I think he has really shown effort and grit. I think he's shown that he belongs here, and he's someone to be reckoned with. May not always come out on top. That match with Painwrecker was a banger and could have gone either way, but I think he is as much of a threat to win any match he's in as anyone we've seen thus far.
Yeah, and his opponent tonight, Savea, has seen a lot of action so far in the SWA. Sits at 4-4 in singles action, so a perfect split right down the middle, sitting at 500. Last matched up against the Machine in episode 8 and got a victory, and we've seen already tonight what the Machine is capable of when he's on. So a pretty good win there. Looking to take down Jones here tonight and get himself back over 500 and become, one of only a handful of SWA stars that have 5 wins.
Yeah, that's a pretty special group, and he could join them here tonight. I think he's maybe one who has flown under the radar a bit, as someone who may have 5 wins tonight. He has never quite felt like he's in that same echelon, but I think it's just, he's wrestling so much, like you said. It's easy to kind of lose track of just how often he wins, but Savea is always a monster in the ring.
Yeah, he's in an interesting position, sort of power rankings wise, as we talked about. If he picks up a 5th victory here tonight, he would join only Boulder, Captain Tiger Marsh, Triple G, Calvin Abueva, Warren Wyndham, and our champion Domingo Cervantes with 5 wins. On the other end of the spectrum, if he loses, he joins only FTS, Lucian Badeau, and Art Vandelay with 5 losses. So he's perfectly in the middle. He's got the same statistics as someone near the very top of our power rankings and near the very bottom, but he's started off pretty hot in this one so far.
Yeah, after getting hung up on the ropes there, he's going to work on Mason Jones. Going to show him who's really the merciless one in this match, I think.
Yeah, how about a half dozen strong rights on the mat, trying to get the crowd behind him a little bit, maybe get in Jones's head. Drives the elbow, but a nice comeback there from Jones, and then a strong takedown to level the 6'4", 319-pound Savea.
On the arms early on from Jones, really kind of targeting some body parts.
And Jones really, more of a striker. Wouldn't expect a lot of technical work from him, but never hurts to injure some of the extremities of your opponent. But he catches a big boot there from the Island God.
Yeah, a big foot, I guess. Savea notably does not wear boots, which is a bit crazy to me, but
he's got that headlock locked in here. You also got to look out for Savea. He will employ a coquina clutch. What might look to submit Jones here, and that could be a little bit of a preemptive work there, working on the neck and the head of Mason Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. Wearing him down, slowing him down, really drain the energy out of him. And also, it's a chance to rest, get his own breath back, get his wind back for another sort of spurt of offense. Big right hand just decks Jones, drops him to the floor on the outside.
Just off the apron there, a tough part of the ring. Nice use of his environment. And Savea caught some elevation off the knee of Mason Jones there. But a nice counter by Savea, power bombing Jones as he went for the Hurricane Rana takedown. These two having a brawl on the outside. Going to get back in on the 7 count. We talked about Savea possibly joining the likes of someone like Wyndham and Cervantes as he goes for a pin here. Gets a 2 count. We're still only 1 week removed from the first title change in SWA history. Domingo Cervantes taking the strap off of Warren Wyndham last week and featuring tonight in a tag team match. Really can just do it all.
Yeah, there's a reason he's at the top of the heap right now. He's a really special competitor. he he and El Puma and Forza Mayor are looking to kind of stake a claim at the top of the tag division as well. The Quins have really won the most, but Forza are another one of those teams that have got a couple of good wins and looking to maybe have a bit of a two-man power trip here.
And a lot of momentum going Mason Jones's way.
Yeah, what a flurry of strikes
and then
that was.
SWA right back to his feet. There's the strength of the Island God on display, along with the resiliency. And he may have it locked in here as he drops down.
Uh-oh. He's right by the ropes, though. Is he going to be able
Jones
to get it?
is fighting out immediately, wisely. And, fortunate for him, he's able to get out of there. But look at that. What a turn of events for Mason Jones as now he's looking for a pinfall. Gets a 2 count.
Man, I thought that could have been it.
Yeah, it looked like he might have put him away. Oh, SWA looking for the clothesline, and now he's draped over the middle rope.
Nice little drop toe hold there. What's he looking to do here?
Oh! Drives the knee right off the face, and SWA maybe busted open after that one.
I think I do see some blood there on his face.
And now Jones has set him up for that discus clothesline, and SWA turned into a lawn chair there, folded in half, and Jones looking for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. Finishes him off. What a back and forth match that turned out to be there near the end. And a big victory for Mason Jones.
Great work by both competitors, but man, Jones, after taking a beating early on, really looked like he was down and out. He turned that match around almost entirely. Once he took control, he did not let up.
Oh, and Jones is chasing SWA outside the ring.
He's not done.
The Island God bloodied was staggering up the ramp, and Jones slings him off the steel steps on the outside. The win apparently not enough for merciless Mason Jones.
Wow. Just a savage beating on top of the ignominy of now being one of the people with the most losses in the SWA.
Yeah, not going to be making any friendships between the two of them. What a way to end a match that, already was a nice victory for Jones, but then he just throws some salt in the wound. The Island God drops to 4 and 5, and Jones gets back to 500, sitting at 2 and 2 now in singles action.
Yeah, and a good win from Jones there. Very impressive.
He finds a way to stay in most matches, and if he can come out on top more often than not, then he can get himself back up the power rankings a little bit, get out of that middle ground, and maybe up nearer to the top. As we move into our next match, though, speaking of 500, there's a way this one falls that both of these two end up at 500 at the conclusion. Lazar Malvo sitting at 2 and 3 in singles action, and Kiho Sankari sitting at 3 and 2. Malvo would love to even himself back up here with a win against Sankari.
He would, but whether he can or not is the question. Sankari is one of those guys that, for some reason, is just so easy to underestimate, and I think Malvo's got to watch out because Sankari is another one of these elite striker types, and he's really unpredictable. It's just a little wild, little a little loose with everything, and so you never know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, and he was on a bit of a streak. He competed in the Path to Glory match at Countdown. He didn't come away victorious, but that's a multi-man match. Getting there is a pretty good indicator of his talent. But was on a 3-match streak of victories after the inaugural tournament. But a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, back in episode 7, Captain Tiger Marsh put an end to that run, giving him his first loss since the tournament. And we'll see if Sankari can bounce back here tonight, or if that has kind of thrown him off the rails a little bit. More so than usual, I guess.
Yeah.
For Malvo, his last match was a couple weeks ago when he got a victory against Art Vandelay. Not the most impressive resume win, but a win nonetheless.
Like I said, that sort of wildness, that unpredictability you can see here, even as he sort of crookedly wanders down the ramp.
Yeah, you never know if he's, quite sure if he's supposed to be here, what his game plan is heading into the match, if he even has one, or, if they just kind of cue him up and tell him it's his turn and send him this way. We'll see what he brings in the match tonight against Lazar Malveaux. See if he can get himself back on the right track with a fourth victory. Quick start for Malveaux. A lot of elevation there.
Yeah, that was a very long way down.
Nice counter by Sankari, but Malveaux with a strong right gets himself back to his feet.
Big exploder suplex there. My goodness. Just really intense offense already from Malveaux very early on here.
Yeah, Malveaux moving with a lot of pace, a lot of purpose. Now slinging Sankari around outside the ring. But a nice counter there by Sankari to get back to his feet, and he's back in the ring. He's maybe not quite as interested as at this one taking place outside.
Again, that high elevation, he's not jumping off the turnbuckle, but he's using gravity to his advantage in other ways.
Yeah, and the offense from Malveaux has not let up so far as he goes for a cover there. Just gets the one. But, man, he's been all offense. Pretty much nonstop action from Lazar Malveaux so far.
A little release suplex there.
Man, he's really the full arsenal of suplexes on display so far from Malveaux.
Yeah, he's just going to town. Sankari's still getting in a little bit of offense here and there. He's not just completely getting steamrolled, but you got to say early on, Malveaux really looks to be in control of this one.
I think we've at least seen the release suplex and the exploder suplex. If you're playing suplex bingo at home, we'll see if Malveaux can help finish out the rest of the card. Right now, Sankari applying some pressure to that left arm. Oh, and Malveaux runs right into the foot there. Into the corner goes Sankari, but there's no one home for the splash.
Face full of turnbuckle. My goodness.
Sankari shows him how it's done in the corner. Now he's going to send him to another. And maybe we're just going around the world here. Two of them down so far.
It's a shame this isn't a, four corners match. Because Sankari would be halfway there already. Again, with this one-legged drop kick, he continues to rely on... Oh, wow.
A lot of impact on the knee there for the face of Malveaux. He's now down center of the ring. Sankari going for the cover, but only gets one.
Only a one count there, but I got to say Sankari really getting some momentum back, looking to control things himself now and doing a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, seems to have found a burst of energy. He's moving a little bit quicker. A little bit more in his step cutter out of nowhere from Sankari. And could that put away Malveaux? That's a lot of offense in a quick amount of time, but it's just a 2 count. Sankari can't believe it, and neither can I right now. Sankari now the one in control. Big discus forearm. Might have busted Malveaux open, and that could be it as well.
Does indeed look like we got another bleeder here today.
1, 2, and 3. Sankari with the turnaround there. Got a lot of momentum going and really just put away put away Malvo there at the end. Hit him with
Yeah,
that knee drop right
yeah,
into a
sort of a single leg code breaker. I don't know what that was, but man, real pivot. Just turned on a dime and said, "No, I'm winning this."
yeah, just a nice string of, high impact moves in succession. There's that rolling elbow that really put Malvo away, busted him open. After that cutter, just too much of a combination for Malvo to keep up with.
Yep, and makes you wonder. Like you talked about playing suplex bingo. Did Malvo run out of suplexes? Did he run out of offense? Did he kind of leave it all in the ring and then run out of steam, and it was Sankari's match to win at that point? I don't know what happened there that led to such a decisive change in momentum.
Yeah, he had a lot of a lot of the pace and speed on his side, and then things just kind of turned on a dime. Like you said, it may have been a stamina issue, may have given him all he had, and then when that wasn't enough, just it became Sankari's match to lose at that point. Next up, though, we should have a good one, a matchup between Corey Quinn and Tomio Yamaguchi. Quinn sits at 3-3 in singles action, last lost in singles to Calvin Abueva back in our last match before a countdown in a Path to Glory qualifier. Path to Glory that Calvin Abueva would go on to win and still retains so far. So for Quinn, not the worst loss. Lost to Abueva, who's been on quite the hot streak. For Yamaguchi, he grabbed a victory against Goldenberg on episode 8, and he's sitting at 4-1, his only loss so far, all the way back in our inaugural tournament. In the first round, a loss to Painwrecker. Since then, he's on a 4-match winning streak.
Yeah, he's really turned it around. The way he started, I think a lot of people were sort of unimpressed, kind of like, yeah, whatever. This guy's like dollar store Okada, but he's really shown us that he's something special. He's got a lot of wins and look to get another one here tonight over a solid competitor.
Yeah, Corey Quinn would be another nice win for Yamaguchi. He's, like I said, he's put away, the likes of Goldenberg. I believe he put down DDT in his Path to Glory qualifier match. He's faced some good competitors so far. We'll see, what he's got in the tank here against Corey Quinn. And it'll be interesting to see if Yamaguchi puts away another with a submission victory, something he's known to go for. He's one to utilize the ankle lock, and he's grabbed a submission victory or two. Will Corey Quinn fall victim to that as well?
And his opponent, from Kobe, Japan, weighing in at 210 pounds, Yamashita.
Yamaguchi's certainly taken his time to get to the ring for his match against Quinn. Could be trying to get in the sharpshooter's head here.
Yeah, it could be. It's this is his whole entrance is a bit performative, probably designed to incur some intimidation and also kind of work the crowd a bit, get him invested in what he's going to bring to the match.
Well, he's had 4 in a row in singles action. See if he can make it 5. As we mentioned, the ranks of those with 5 victories is a pretty nice place to be, particularly if you haven't lost since the inaugural tournament.
Yeah,
So
anyone with 5 wins is a serious contender, and I think 5 in a row even more so. And a strong
Yamaguchi
start here.
looking to start strong, but a nice counter by Quinn landing on his feet there and taking advantage. Quinn in the red and blacks tonight, not the blue of the Quinn brothers tag team attire. And both Quinns coming out tonight with no one at ringside. Interesting point as well for the often accompanied Quinn brothers.
Yeah, I wonder what that says about the other two, who are, of course, like we mentioned, the strong tag team competitors. Not that there's any sort of division, I think, amongst the brothers, but perhaps they're focusing on other things right now. I don't know. And while Corey Quinn here really looking to take it to Yamaguchi, kind of controlling this match. I don't know. It's a bit back and forth, but still early goings. See what each man brings to us here.
Certainly been some reversals into further reversals. Now Yamaguchi going to apply some pressure to the arm on the elbow.
This little arm foldy move tonight.
Certainly has, as he really just pulling Quinn across the ring. Let's see if that benefits him later on in the match. Strong right levels Corey Quinn.
What a punch that was.
Seeing a lot of striking out of Yamaguchi so far. Not necessarily what I would expect to see out of him, but he is a pretty technically gifted wrestler, so mixing it up, throwing your opponent off guard, I guess, could be pretty effective. As Quinn finds himself at the top of the turnbuckle here.
So you're thinking here, change his mind, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really like what he saw. We saw last week the Ace lost a match, perhaps because he missed one of those high risk moves. Maybe Quinn didn't like what he saw and decided better against it.
Yeah, and I can't fault him for that. It's the smart move. That's the veteran choice. You got to be aware of what your opponent's doing. Are they about to get up? That sort of thing. To go back to what you were saying a minute ago, Yamaguchi just relying on strikes. We mentioned he has the submission maneuver, the ankle lock that he's used to end a few opponents. Maybe you could think of this as sort of tenderizing the meat a bit. He's just beating them up so they're tired and they're already sore, and then he locks in that ankle lock, and it's just completely devastating. As Quinn here with a little block on the suplex and reverses it.
Yeah, really nice counter there, but again, the back and forth, Yamaguchi fighting back to his feet and really laying in some strikes. Neither man has been very effective in the corner so far, but Quinn going back up top, and Yamaguchi meets him.
What height on that jump?
Up to the top now with Corey, and all the way off.
A Falcon Arrow from the top. Incredible stuff from Yamaguchi.
Oh, and a Superman punch right into the cover. He's down. Ref going for the count. 1, 2, and shoulder up for Corey Quinn. And Yamaguchi turned that one around in a hurry. And really quickly got us away from that insane elevation in the corner, but he catches a DDT there from Corey Quinn.
And once again, looks like Quinn may be thinking about, he can't decide here.
Quinn really kind of tired himself out in the corner. Maybe trying to, worried about the ankle lock, perhaps trying to get the blood flowing in the legs, keep everything moving down there, get the joints working.
Not a bad idea. And a Yakuza kick there, I think. Maybe looking to put him away here. What's he thinking?
Oh!
Big brain buster by Yamaguchi, and now he's got something in mind.
Taking him up.
Fireman's carry into the
Setting
go
him
to sleep.
up and just putting him down. Is that enough to put him away for good? 1, 2, and 3.
Yes,
Yamaguchi
sir.
with his 5th victory and a strong one at that. Goes to 5-1, a 5-match winning streak in singles action. What a showing from Yamaguchi.
Yeah, wow. A great showing from Quinn as well, I got to say. Corey Quinn, no slouch as a competitor, but Yamaguchi's just on a tear. That's incredible. He will not be stopped.
We saw Corey Quinn. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you got to expect soon he's going to be calling Cervantes' name, looking for that title belt.
Yeah, he's definitely got some claim to it. Yamaguchi really turned that match around in the corner with that insane elevation to deliver the knee to Corey Quinn, who was on the top turnbuckle. That Falcon arrow off the top rope into the Superman punch really turned this match right around and put it all in Yamaguchi's hand, in a big win here tonight for him. He's already sitting high atop the power rankings in 4th place. Got to be feeling pretty good about a win tonight against Corey Quinn.
Yeah, that's a really big win for a guy who already was in a good position. Speaking of big wins, this next one here could have huge implications going forward.
Yeah, as Yamaguchi gets his 5th victory, we move into our second to last match of the night between a couple of people who have 5 victories of their own, Triple G and Captain Tiger Marsh. And should be a good one. Triple G did, lose his last match in a match against the Boulder on episode 7. Triple G has lost 2 matches in the SWA. Both of them have been against the Boulder. That seems to be the thorn in his side so far. And for Marsh, he's, we just talked about Yamaguchi getting his 5th in a row. Captain Tiger Marsh started off 1-2. He's on a 4-match winning streak to get to 5-2, and he's looking to get his 5th in a row as well. Getting one here against Triple G would be a pretty nice notch on the belt, as he looks, both of these vying for a potential title shot at some point in the future. A win here for either one would be pretty nice.
I was thinking about this one, looking at the information for the card before the show. That, obviously we talked about some of these implications because either one of these guys is going to be looking to really climb the rankings in the power rankings, but I really can't separate them. I'm not sure who I would like for this one. It's tough. On the one hand, you've got Triple G, who has the pedigree. Right, he is a former champion in another promotion, and he had a great showing in the tournament, has had some good matches. Like you said, he did lose his last one, but I think he still has plenty left in the tank, plenty of momentum behind him. On the other side, you got Marsh, who's been on a tear. I think started kind of fine, but has really turned it around, and I just can't separate these two. I'm not sure who I like for this one.
Yeah, for Marsh, he's got 4 in a row. He's got 5 victories overall. He's looking for his 5th in a row. He's got 2 losses. For Triple G, there's 2 sides of the coin. On one side, he's 0-2 against the Boulder. On the other side, he's undefeated against everybody else, 5-0. This match, obviously, is not against the Boulder. It seems like that makes his odds pretty good. He's undefeated otherwise. But Marsh, not going to be one to just kind of let that slide. He's on a bit of a roll here. He's going to be looking for another victory, and he's not going to let Triple G be the one to get in his way. So, unstoppable force, immovable object. See which one comes out on top in this one. Should be a good one.
And there's some momentum early on. Marsh is taking it straight to him.
Oh,
a big Falcon arrow there from Triple G as a response, I guess. But I mean, already this one looking like a banger.
just setting him up and spending a lot of time on the back of Marsh before Marsh finally finds a way out of that.
A little shoulder tackle there.
Just the strength, to just blast your opponent down with a little shoulder check.
And a judo takedown by Triple G, really showing off his training there. He studied several different martial arts from all over the world. What's he thinking here? Oh, a little enziguri action. And I think maybe Marsh's ear is ringing there. You know, it's not a lot of fun to get a boot to the back of your head.
Once again, the strength of Marsh just checking his opponent down. We haven't seen a lot of grappling, a lot of technical wrestling.
This is really a brawl. This is a fight. This is not a wrestling match. Which is, I understand it. I think both of these guys feel like they have something to prove, but also maybe they're both a little angry at, their opponents in a way. I certainly think Triple G would not think that someone like Tiger Marsh is worthy of wrestling him based on things he's said in the past. Meanwhile, Marsh might be just annoyed at someone like Triple G running his mouth all the time. I know plenty of other people on the roster are, so a little frustration pent up here. Maybe they're taking it out on each other, and that would explain the stiffness of this match a bit here.
Yes, certainly a mix of styles there. Marsh, not the most charismatic, really just kind of all business. Triple G, really fond of himself. So quite the pairing there on opposite ends of the spectrum. And so far, it's resulted in a nice back and forth match. Oh,
whoa! A little full Nelson backbreaker. My goodness. A couple of clotheslines here, off the ropes, and a drop kick.
Some
Triple
really
G
strong clotheslines from Triple G, who's taken a few here from Captain Marsh, but now he's just laying in some offense. Nice suplex there from Gray.
Big German. It's, Marsh is sort of a deceptively huge guy, so that's an impressive lift by Gray.
Oh, and Gray gets the victory there off the suplex. 1, 2, and 3. Triple G's your winner. A surprising pinfall there. And Marsh's streak is over. Triple G stays undefeated against everybody that isn't named the Boulder.
Wow.
And we continue to have relatively efficient matches tonight. A quick victory for Triple G in what we expected to be a pretty tough match back and forth, and what looked that way from the start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've seen very many guys get pinned off of a released German suplex, but I suppose there's a time for everything. Maybe Gray's been, making sure he hits leg day or something. I don't know. I got to hand it to Triple G. He gets wins when they matter, it seems like. He just can't seem to beat the Boulder. But he's now staked a claim as someone who really should be in that competition for the title. Really made a statement about himself as a contender.
Yeah, Triple G just picked up a 6th victory. Joins only Warren Windham as the only competitors with 6 victories in the SWA so far. So pretty good company there. The former champ who held the title for 59 days here in the SWA. But, Triple G is going to be certainly thinking he deserves a shot. But as we move into our main event of the night, speaking of shots, we talked about how we've got the pay-per-view coming up next week. Far more details on that to come. I think we can go ahead and reveal one detail, however, that we can confirm for that pay-per-view. Tag team titles, for the first time officially, will be on the line at that pay-per-view. No surprise to anyone who's watched the SWA. At 5-1, the Quinn brothers have a claim to that inaugural title. Tonight's main event, 2 teams, 1-0 for Unhinged, 1-1 from Fuerza Mayor, who also feature the SWA World Champion Domingo Cervantes. Winner of this match will have a shot at the Quins and a shot at that title. As the winner of this match will be the only other tag team in the SWA above 500, and with a shot at the Quins.
Yeah, and I think this is a good one. You know, the Unhinged have just recently debuted, but really sort of made a statement for themselves. Fuerza Mayor been around a little bit longer. Obviously, got the champion on their team and have had some good wins. But both these teams looking to spoil the Quins' coronation, I think, at our next pay-per-view.
Certainly so for Mayor. You know, they've got. It's hard to argue against Domingo Cervantes not being the hottest star in the company right now. Having him and that strap coming to the ring right now as part of your tag team, if there's an ace in the hole, it's that one.
Yep.
So for, Unhinged, the focus has got to be maybe keeping Cervantes out of the ring and trying really just to kind of go 2-on-1 against Puma if possible. It's going to be hard to do that. A good team here from Fuerza Mayor. Although they did, drop their last match against Corey and Matthew Quinn a few weeks ago.
That's true, and it could be, an indication that maybe they're not quite ready for the titles, but they certainly think they are. They want to be the ones competing for them at the pay-per-view, and let's see what comes of it here.
It's tough to compete with the 5-1 resume of the Quins, but for both of these teams, a lot less experience than the Quins so far. But for Unhinged, it's late addition to SWA. For Mayor, it's Domingo Cervantes has been so good. It's hard to find time for these two to compete as teammates.
Yeah, I mean, he's been tied up competing for the title in multiple matches, but ultimately, he's here now, and he's ready to look for that strap to go maybe on his shoulder while the big one rests on his waist.
Slate tags in Onyx here, who's going up to the middle rope and driving down on the leg of El Puma. Could
a lot of weight on that knee.
Setting up for perhaps some submission attempts from Slate later on in this match. Onyx a bit more of a brawler.
That was a nice little lucha flip reversal there.
Now Puma sending Onyx off the ropes, and a big kick takes down the larger man.
Big jumping kick, man.
And should be interesting with us being able to confirm that this match will send somebody into that title match against the Quins. If you're the SWA and Fuerza Mayor win this match, you've got your champ in a tag team title match. Do you put the SWA World Championship on the line at the pay-per-view?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's up to, the powers that be. On the one hand, if the people want to see Domingo, there's a theoretical chance you could see him competing twice, but that's a lot to ask of any competitor. And I know he'd want to do it, but, you got to consider their health and their safety as well. Boy, Puma here really probably needs to get out of the ring. He's been in there for a long time, and he's handling Onyx okay, but oh my gosh.
Not sure he's going anywhere. Maybe a bit of a cheap shot there from Onyx takes Cervantes down to the outside, and now it really is that sort of 2-on-1 situation that we talked about.
Yep, and I think that Onyx would tell you that's just strategy. I don't know if I would agree with that assessment, but I can certainly see the argument, I suppose.
Cervantes back on the apron, but Onyx has Puma on the outside here. Big running knee. Yeah. Nice counter there from Puma, but Onyx fighting back a little bit as well. Dangerous territory as we've got a 5 count now. These two still going at it on the outside.
Can't quite take him down with that drop kick.
7 count and still going at it. Throws Puma off the corner post. We've got an 8 count now.
Is Puma going to sneak in here? No.
9, and Onyx is back in the ring. Puma on the outside still. Can he get in? Oh, the ref was going for the 10 count. Doesn't signal for the bell, and this match will continue. I thought this one was over.
I really did too. That wow. Onyx was very generous to, sort of allow him back in the ring. I would have I probably would have done whatever I could to keep him out. Meanwhile, Onyx being generous again.
Slate really talking up Onyx into some strategy here, and it seems to have paid off. Onyx really taking his time, maybe a little too methodical here. Is Puma now able to walk him all the way across the ring? A larger competitor back to his feet, probably looking to get his teammate back involved here. And there is going to be a tag. Going up and looking for the stone cutter, center of the ring. Puma down. That power bomb into the cutter there. Cervantes is going to break this one up. That might have been it for Puma.
Oh, he's got to fight both of them, it looks like. Wow, Hurricane Rana from Onyx. My goodness.
Slate's got an armbar locked in. And Puma's tapping out with no help from Cervantes thanks to Onyx. Unhinged gets the submission victory. Mayhem in the final seconds of that match.
Wow. A bit of chaos there, man. This
Absolute
whole night been a little
chaos at the
crazy
end of that match. This stone cutter there looked like it might have ended it. And Cervantes able to, cue the distraction. But as he's taken down by Onyx there, just that armbar locked in for Slate Stone, and a surprising victory to add to the plethora of them that we've had tonight.
Yeah, I think you really hit on it talking about the 2-on-1 matchup. Puma never tagged Cervantes, who's like the champion, the current champion, one of the best in the SWA. What's he thinking? I don't know.
You gotta get Domingo in the ring, and really that strategy worked out for Unhinged, able to keep Puma in. He got in some good offense at times, and he was in control of this match for a bit, but Unhinged was able to get out of the corner when he was looking to get Cervantes in, perhaps, and really kind of saved him probably in this match. Cervantes far and away the best competitor among the four. It's hard to argue against that, and keeping him out of the ring, probably the only reason that Unhinged comes away with a victory tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I think you can't deny that was their strategy, and it worked to perfection. They didn't even have to resort to dirty tactics. It just, Puma kind of helped them. And
that concludes what may have been the SWA's fastest show ever. A lot of quick matches on the card tonight. 7 up, 7 down. And that prepares us for our pay-per-view event coming next week. More information on that coming in the early stages of next week. Full matches, what we will expect to see, and even the sort of theme of that pay-per-view. Pretty exciting stuff in the SWA to look forward to, and we're going to have a lot of great stuff there. We appreciate all of you coming out tonight and enjoying. I think what we can safely say is our most efficient card of SWA.
Yeah, efficient is certainly a way to describe it.
But we will hopefully see you all next week at the pay-per-view. Have a lot of great matches, and as I said, we're going to feature probably almost an entire roster, so it's going to be a fun one, and we'll see you there. Thanks for coming out.